Hey, so breaking news, breaking news. This just came down the news wire. Well, really, it came down yesterday evening. I say like around 10:30 p.m. But there were multiple reports that were multiple outlets that were reporting that Boston Celtics coach Ime Udoka, and I think I butchered his last name. If I did, I apologize. You guys know I butcher people's first and last name on a constant, consistent basis. But anywho, the possibility of him being suspended for a year and possibly fined for having an consensual relationship at the workplace. Now, the NBA is not fining Ime Udoka. They're not even putting pressure on the Boston Celtics to fine and suspend Ime Udoka. This is coming from the Boston Celtics organization. Now, there's multiple outlets that are reporting that he had a consensual relationship with a female that works for the Boston Celtics organization. No one knows was she working alongside Ime Udoka, or she was working for him, or she was just simply working in the Boston Celtics organization. And a lot of people are out there, particularly on social media and YouTube, are trying to add things together, piece things together, and they're searching all the female, any female that works for the Boston Celtics organization. They're trying to say, okay, well, this has to be the one that has the affair with Ime Udoka. Now, Ime Udoka is also in a relationship with Nia Long. Nia Long with the cherry thong. Everyone knows who this actress is. She was in Boys in the Hood. She was in Friday. She was in The Best Man. She was in a lot of films. And she ran rampant in the 90s and in the early 2000s. But she is in a relationship with Ime Udoka. And the Boston Celtics are definitely suspending Ime Udoka because of a consensual relationship in the workplace. Now, a lot of people on social media, as well as YouTubers, including the talking heads of Fox Sports 1, ESPN, and the Alphabet networks are expressing their opinion. Stephen A. Smith got on live TV on First Take and said, well, if it's that serious to the Boston Celtics, how come they just simply fired him and just get rid of him instead of just suspending him for a year? I feel like the real reason why the Boston Celtics want to suspend Ime Udoka for a year is, instead of just firing him and just letting him go, is two-part. One, Ime Udoka, Ime Udoka basically, the workplace rules, he broke a lot of workplace rules. And even though it was a consensual relationship, you got to look at it from the Boston Celtics. They're looking at it as, okay, everything's hunky-dory now, but what if you break up with this lady, you go back to Nia Long, or she breaks up with you, then when it comes to business, as far as opportunities for her to advance in the organization or getting promotions or getting recommendations and things of that nature, and those things do not arrive for this lady, she will then turn around and say, well, the real reason why she didn't get the chances and the opportunities because of her relationship with Ime Udoka. Maybe the relationship sours with him, or the Boston Celtics didn't like them being in a relationship. That's why they didn't give her any promotions or raises or anything, or opportunities or anything of that nature. The Boston Celtics are protecting their backside of possible being sued by this lady if things sour in this relationship, either by Ime Udoka or the Boston Celtics. So the Boston Celtics had to act quickly on that level. Secondly, to Stephen A's point, why don't they just fire him instead of suspending him? Stephen A. Smith knows, and he's a smart man, and anyone out here with the IQ of 2 dead flies would know that if they simply fire him, do you realize that there's a lot of teams in the National Basketball Association that will pick him up quickly? He would not be a free agent long enough. They will quickly pick him up. And there's a lot of teams out there that will move heaven and hell to get Ime Udoka to be their head coach. Look at the Charlotte Hornets. Look at the Brooklyn Nets. All right. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers. That's just 3 teams out east. Pretty sure there's a multitude on top of multitude of teams out west that will love to have Ime Udoka as their head coach of their team. Okay. So the Boston Celtics didn't, wake up one morning and decide to be stupid. They know they have a great commodity in Ime Udoka. They have a lot of faith and a lot of trust in him. They do realize this is a mistake, but they want to make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed when it comes to Ime Udoka. They simply couldn't just give him a fine and that be that. Okay, they had to go this narrative. Now, even though it was a committed relationship. It was not a committed relationship. It was a relationship that both sides wanted. Still, at the end of the day, it's something that, particularly in these times, a lot of Fortune 500 companies and corporations don't speak high. This is not acceptable. Yes, I understand what Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith is saying, that they know a multitude of organizations in professional sports that tolerated it. Yeah, maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, even 50 years ago. I just don't think that there's no space or no place to have a relationship with a colleague at these big corporations, because it can leave a stain, it can leave a black eye. There's now with the advent of social media, the movements, the Me Too movements, and things of that nature, it can be an eyesore for a corporation, and they just don't want to tolerate the noise that it can generate, and the possibility of losing sponsors and losing endorsements and things of that nature. Plus, free agency. Okay, some athletes, I know a lot of people are going to say in the comment section they don't believe this, but some athletes would look at this, would not give the Boston Celtics a second look, thinking that they're not a serious organization, that they're a laughing stock and a joke of an organization. Okay, so you have to look at it. You have to have the mindset of a business mentality that this does not look good, does not look well. Now, as a male and as a female, it's okay if you want to be in a relationship with somebody. That's cool. But if you develop a relationship with someone that you happen to work with, as long as it was created outside of the workplace, that is fine and all hunky-dory. Now, as far as Ime Udoka with Nia Long, he's got a lot of explaining to do with her. He has to know, does he want to commit with her or with this new fling at the workplace? I just think he's got a lot of things that he has to situate in his own home, and maybe this year, him being suspended, he will find out what's important to him. And as far as him and Nia Long, that's something that they're going to have to tolerate and deal with in their own household. I will say this, and a lot of guys are going to probably echo this. I think this is tolerable and acceptable from the standpoint of a married couple. If you are married with someone who's successful and famous and does his business in an environment that this is acceptable in that environment, these are the things that you have to tolerate and you have to have thicker skin to deal with. If you have a prize husband out there and he's the head coach in the National Basketball Association, or if he's a superstar in the National Basketball Association and you're married to him, then these are things that you're going to have to, it's going to have to be a burden with you. You're going to have to tolerate those things or not tolerate them things. Don't even have a relationship with this individual. But it's something, an average woman has to deal with. Now, with Nia Long, like I said, she's a superstar. She's been in several movies. Everyone knows who Nia Long is. Nia Long has the ability and the choice, just like an average woman, does she wants to continue in this relationship or to continue going down this road with him or not. But with Nia Long, she does have options, okay? And I'm pretty sure this can really damage your relationship and damage her as far as you didn't even care about me enough to you just going around here, having relationships with a female worker, a female co-worker at your workplace. And it also demonstrates maybe that it was not all hunky-dory in their household. Maybe they was going through some things. I don't know. But nevertheless, from a male perspective in that type of environment, an average woman would have to tolerate and deal with this and make the decision. Do I want to tolerate and deal with this and just move on, or should I tolerate and deal with this? Okay, but we're talking about Nia Long. She has value and equity as well. As many women that run up to you, Ime Udoka, and wants to be in a romantic relationship with you, sir, she is just as equal. Okay, I'm pretty sure that her DMs be blowing up, and young as well as older men hit her DMs up and want to hit her up, okay? But she got the fortitude of saying no. She doesn't want to do that. She don't want to fool around. So it's a lot of things that they're going to have to figure out. That's their matter. That's not a sports matter. That's something that I don't have to deal with. But I just think when you are married to someone who is super successful, super popular, these are the things you're going to have. These are the things that you have to be in bed with, and you're going to have to, before you start a relationship with someone this popular and this successful. These are things you're going to have to figure out before you actually start committing and wanting to be their number one or one of their ones, okay? But hey, it's one of those things. I also feel like there's more to this story than them having a consensual relationship. I think there's more to it. And do not be surprised if other women start stepping up and saying, hey, I was in a fling with him as well. There's going to be women out there that's going to flex and chase the clout because of this. And there are going to be women who really were involved with him in a one-night stand or something like this. And this is going to even hurt Ime's reputation even further. As far as him being a coach, it's no big deal. But we all seen, I think his name was Derek Fisher. He played for the LA Lakers back in the day with Kobe and Shaq. And he was involving himself in situations like this. And when he got outed for it, it was hard for him to find a coaching gig. And when he did find a coaching gig, that was one of the things that hurt him as far as him advancing and being a serious candidate of being a head coach in the National Basketball Association. He's bounced around in the WNBA. I mean, he just simply can't control his little man that's between his legs. Okay, just one of those individuals. And I hope Ime Udoka doesn't carry that type of reputation. Okay, but I wish him the best. I think he's going to bounce from this. I think he's going to have a pretty stellar NBA head coaching career. I remember Skip Bayless said on Undisputed, I believe it was yesterday, saying, how come no one's is not, when he was trying to become a head coach anywhere, Skip Bayless was, and he came from the Greg Popovich tree, Skip Bayless was saying, how come no one is kicking the tires around Ime Udoka? Well, maybe stuff like this just kept following him, okay? When there's smoke, there's fire, unfortunately. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.